And who better to bring in to chat through all the footy news, which we'll be doing all year, is our man, Triple M's own Max Gorn. Welcome, Maxie.
Good morning. Yeah, opening round done. You blink and you miss it. What I found funny is there was a team of the round. They posted, the AFL posted the ladder. That was great. It was great to see the ladder. It was interesting. Obviously, they wanted 4 games, but just 2. And
it's good for you. You're in the 8.
We're in the by alphabetical order. Are we still in there?
I think you might have scraped in.
We'll stay there.
Yeah.
So what's your take on everyone in Australia's had their view on opening round? Where do you sit with it?
Yeah, I like. I think it was Michael Voss who said 1 game in each state. You can definitely do that. I'm happy to travel wherever. I was happy to play in Sydney last year, but more importantly, I was happy to play in that round. I think all players are. So whether it's over 2 weeks, whether we go into states at different places, Adelaide, Perth, well, hopefully not Mandurah again, but...
Let it go, mate. We've got some mail from Mandurah.
We get it.
It's not good.
Oh, no.
So how'd you spend the last weekend off? Is it a little daunting knowing, this is the last weekend for a long time?
It was. We had an intra club on Saturday morning. Well, like a half, three quarters. And then was just able to rest up, watch the footy, watch opponents look extremely good, which was a hard watch. Watch Melbourne Storm, which was they put on an absolute clinic. And I'm not sure if you guys know, I'm a massive cycling Nuffy fan, and there's 2 really good races that have sort of started at the moment, so I'm up nice and late watching them.
You're a sports nerd. Can I ask you what it's like? Do you feel like you don't get a chance to open the season? Are you sitting around going, we've waited this long and now we have to sit around and watch other teams get out there first?
Yeah, definitely. And the fact that we're the last game of the round almost now, we're at 3:20 on Sunday. So I had to watch sort of 4 or 5 games leading into that. I'll probably watch, I'm going to limit myself. I might watch Thursday night, watch Richmond play Carlton. I might not watch Friday so I can keep my distance between too much footy. It's funny, last year we opened the season. We finished top 4 a few years in a row. We were all the hype. They're happy for us to open the season. We finished 14th 1 year, and now all of a sudden we're playing GWS Sunday 3:20. We're quickly on the back burner.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Richmond still get the Thursday night slot, but that's
It's no longer the opening of the season, by the way, as it should be. Ding dong.
That's
one
another
for the
story.
ages.
Hey, sitting around watching GWS when you like that, they look great. They look really good. When you see something happen like Briggs goes down, which is the guy that you would have been preparing for, and then it's Lockie Keefe who's coming in. What do you think to yourself? Is there a bit of, this is good for me next week? Is it concern for the player? What goes through your head?
Definitely concerned straight away. Briggs is a quality opponent. So you're sort of looking at that game to watch how Cameron and Briggs go. So you get a bit deflated when Briggs goes early because you're like, I was keen to watch him play and to see what I can do against him. They've got a young kid called Madden who's bigger than Briggs. He's almost like Braden Preuss type who could come in. And Lockie Keefe, I've rucked against him many of times. You end up, when there's not a main ruck in the team, you end up being the target player as well. So there's all sorts of going on in your mind. But more importantly, when the stretcher comes out and the neck brace is on, you're just thinking of Briggs and you're hoping he's okay. And turns out he is. I think it was maybe just a concussion.
Yeah, they were the concern for his neck. So they took a while to get him off, which they obviously do when there's any sort of neck involved. But good to see him up and watching the game later on. Hey, there were a few incidents to come out of the game. What about the coaches sparring on the sideline and coaches chatting to players? Where do you sit on that?
I've been involved in a few, to be fair. I was the target player a couple of times in the Port games, and Ken every now and then would say some choice words to me.
Kenny, he's got form.
He is a serial offender.
Craig has form. Craig went hard at Alex Neil-Bullen, who was tagging Dacos last year for us. I've never seen Goody do it personally. I've been on the bench when he's had a little bit of a go at an umpire, maybe from a long way out, but not in terms of opposition players. So I don't know.
Where's the line?
When I see Chris Scott do it with Geelong, I'm like, geez, it'd be cool to have a coach that backs his players in that much. Not saying Goody doesn't, but then...
Bit hard from the box.
Yeah, when you're on the other end of it and you see Craig have a go at Alex Neil-Bullen last year, you're like, that's a bit much. So I'm not sure. I sort of sit on the fence a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't sit on the fence here.
When we come back, we're going to ask you about your teammate, Mr. Petracca, who's changed management.
I spent last year talking about him.
No, well, buckle up. It's happening again.
The big story. So Craig McRae got off yesterday, cleared by the AFL for basically good bloke factor. reasons,
sure.
and reminded of his responsibility as a coach. But you're telling us he's got form in that area from spraying players.
Yeah, I mean, on the AFL clearing him, I don't necessarily think there's a rule. So I would agree that they should be cleared, and most coaches do it. But yeah, Craig certainly had some choice words last time we tagged Dacos. And when your best player is getting tagged, then sometimes it can be quite a ferocious tag, I'm sure, as a coach. I mean, if I was getting tagged, I wouldn't mind Goody standing up for me. So like I said, I don't know where I sit, but he's certainly done it to Nibbler last year.
I like a bit of shenanigans on the boundary line. Because there seems to be more of it. So the incidents of this type may be more prevalent. Yes? Yeah, good. Now, what's happening with Petrarca? I'm feeling that was this on the cards? Has this just happened? Why is he changing management?
Yeah, I mean, I can't answer that.
No, answer it.
No, he obviously has a real strong brand off the field, which I love because he's done it off the back of playing really good footy.
Sure.
He's a Norm Smith medalist, best and fairest, all Australian.
It's a weird time to be doing this.
The timing, unfortunately, doesn't look great for off the back of all those stories. But I know Trackers as much as a teammate does, and I feel like this is a smart move for him going forward. So
Put a line through Melbourne.
Put a line through Melbourne is exactly what I said in all those words.
I'm reading between the lines here, but what you're saying is
Tracker changing manager, line through Melbourne.
The other part of it is players are different.
Yeah.
Like, you're at the older end of the footy player spectrum.
Easy.
Well, he is.
I'm at the older end.
Have a look at him. He's got a beard, and he's
Still got his thumb guard on,
real
which worries
man.
me. It's 2 weeks in a row.
I did say it was a couple of hours, and I'm still wearing it.
Jack Ginnivan was the other one. So he went with something interesting on the weekend.
He's reading a book,
Yeah.
but he's doing it in a very public way.
Yeah.
So he's sitting on the sideline where, I don't know, there may be a number of cameras floating around, and he's reading a book. Now, to me, he wants it to be known that he's reading a self-help book. The same one.
So AJ Brown from the Philadelphia Eagles was when he was going to the sideline in between sort of the offense and defensive plays and sitting there and reading this book to help him calm down. And so it's clear that Ginnivan's seen that and then said, that looks good, I'll do that. You could do it in the change rooms, couldn't you?
You could. NFL fans are all over that. I know Stephen May he said straight away, he goes, Ginnivan's trying to do, what's his name?
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him the one out here, and the out
good.
is the visualization is out on the ground. So it might be a bit of a mix between the book and the ground that he needed, and that's his only out.
Had it been from the Mr. Men series, I may have believed it. All right, before we go, we'll have you on later in the week.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Well,
For the preview.
I guess to get the big preview, but just an early 4-day forecast. Tigers look good for Thursday night.
The Thursday night season opener, which is not the season opener, is always a good game.
It's always a good game.
I don't think it's going to be lopsided. I think it's going to be
two-horse
close. I'm going to go Carlton by kick.
Whoa, all right, but much can change between now and then. Thank you, Maxie.
Thanks, team.